Well, it was about time for we got back on our Canna We Talk Now podcast, and unfortunately, I'm still wearing these glasses as which represented how we don't move forward. And in 2023, we had some optimism because we were looking forward to a citizens' assembly, and we didn't have we had the same people who really didn't have the same excuses. But unfortunately, I'm looking. Looking at it, I'm a little bit rusty in the old podcasting. Anyway, so we're delighted to be back. We got tied up in I had at the back end of 2024, a lot of comedy business here in Barcelona, and that kind of tied me up. So, but we're back. We were also waiting to see, where all the names were going to land after that general election. And it literally only happened literally about 10, 12 days ago when the last senators were put in place. Delighted to say that Lynn Ruane got over the line because she now really represents about the only voice that we have in the Irish parliamentary system. And that's shocking. We lost Gino. We lost a couple of good people. Aodhán Ríordáin has gone out to Europe, where hopefully he'll still be there and still doing something of value, and that will reflect back into Ireland and Irish drug policy. He fought very hard for the injection centres, which are now open and delivering a service to people that it said they couldn't. Oh, that should never happen. It is happening, and the stats are out. I haven't got the stats beside me here, but it's pretty impressive how many lives they've saved. I think they've literally saved 6 over the last month that it's been opened. So this is what's happening. And in the meantime, I'm delighted to see Martin Condon, the much victimized Martin Condon, is back in action with his Martin Condon's 420 News, which is vital because it's there every day. But what it is a document of the amount of criminalization that is going on in Ireland. And if anybody believes that people are not being criminalized unnecessarily, then they need to check it out because it's every day there at 420. And you'll see the amount of damage being done to people's lives and civil rights being ignored. And that's a problem. And so welcome back, Martin. Great to have you back. And you've actually stirred me back into action. And apart from that, well, there's been a few things going on in the background, what I've been up to. I was always planning certain things. I think we needed a change of strategy as Irish activists in the cannabis space, that because we're not getting anywhere, it feels like. So I've always had a feeling that there's a place for getting the artists of Ireland, because everybody loves an artist and the work that they produce. And artists have been forever inspired by this amazing plant, from Louis Armstrong to to Snoop Dogg to Miley Cyrus. It goes on and on. There's a plethora of artists, and in Ireland, a ton of artists that. So I've been creating an event called the Irish Canna Fringe, which I hope, and it's actually it's a Canna Fringe. It's sitting on cannafringe.com, and it will be there for any other. It doesn't have to be exclusively Irish in the future. It can be any country, any city who wants to come in and sit on that platform and sit on that domain and be part of this and bring artists into the fold, and we all get something and we have fun, and because we just focus on positivity. So that's my feeling of the new strategy that's required. The science is in so long ago. There's no need to be constantly having the same arguments, even though, that we last week, Claire Byrne, I tuned into Claire Byrne one day. I just happened to be listening, and there was again we've got the two Cannabis Risk Alliance advocates, prohibitionists who always seem to get incredible amount of airtime, given the same thing about the psychosis in teens and the all the people who end up in A&E. The people who end up in A&E, they never say are there because HHC. They're there primarily because of synthetics, and that is never stated. It's also never stated by RTE that their two voices are Bobby and they're so highly funded, and where they're making money out of prohibition. They have been for years, and they continue to do so. So this is it's something that's always kept very opaque. And so it's time now for a change of strategy, only positivity, and let our artists do the creating and the talking and the singing and the dancing and the storytelling and the poetry. And so that's my plan for that. It'll become more apparent over the next days, but it'll be on cannafringe.com. Canna fringe.com. The idea is that it follows the same parameters as the Edinburgh Fringe, which anybody who knows it is a 3-week festival that takes place in the month of the 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks, usually in August. And the model of the Edinburgh Fringe is it's an open invitational festival, which means that anybody can rock up and be part of the Edinburgh Fringe. You have to be part of it. Then you can take an ad in the programs. You can contribute into the publicity that you need to be part of it. So that's kind of the same kind of model we're going to create. But the idea is I want to create a platform that is there for 3 weeks every April, and inside that we have a bunch of real peachy dates. We have 420, we have Earth Day, we have a bunch of stuff, and it all kicks off. And that's what I'm planning to do this year. We're just going to launch it with 2026 in mind. That we're going to launch it with the commemoration for Howard Marks. Also on the 12th of April, planning. I've lately on this podcast, one of the last people I spoke to was Gary Hughes from Liverpool. His chilling rooms has been developing all the time. It's now a CIC, which in UK is a community enterprise, and it's seeking now to become effectively not just a vape lounge, but it'll be more than that. It'll be like a full-on private members club, and that means it's kind of like it will be the only really truly official private members club for consuming cannabis in the UK. So that's all massive. We're going to go visit it on the 12th of April, Saturday the 12th of April. So there's a gang of us. You recognize some of them that will be doing a few Facebook lives. I'll do it from the YouTube here. We'll be doing that when we go to Liverpool, and then I'll whisk my way back to Barcelona, because then we're getting on top of March 12th. We have the amazing C Days. I'm planning on doing the people behind C Days. C Days is in Spanibus Week. It's on the Tuesday. It's on April the 12th. An amazing event with some of the greatest minds in cannabis from across the world, in dealing with every part of it, from cultivation right through to extraction, everything. And it's an amazing event, and it takes place in the University of Barcelona, Polytechnic. And they are actually now the guys behind that, Ruben, they've developed a master's, and I'm going to do that master's in June in the next intake. And so that's a master's, a full-on university level master's in cannabis. And now because the world is crazy at the moment with AI and all that, and that lunatic over in Washington, but at the same time things are moving very fast. And so my plan is to absolutely get to June, March. This month, I'm going to plant a lot of stuff on my little terrace. I'm still rocking my cosecha from last year, and this is why I'm here. 2 hours from Barcelona, and 2 hours from Dublin. In Barcelona, I can grow control the inputs and grow the strains that I prefer, that serves the purpose of my body, that matches what I need in life. And that's what this is about. This Canna Fringe is going to be a celebration of the plant, the inspiration that the plant gives people, the medicine that it creates, everything about it. And it's a celebration of cannabis sativa it's, the actual plant. And so, I really hope that people get involved. Please share. It's going to be built in a little bit. I met some brilliant people. There's an audiovisual fair called ISE in Barcelona, which is it's incredible. Like they've got holograms, that the amount of things that's going on moving, the world is moving incredibly fast. And I hooked up with an amazing partner that will be part of this kind of fringe. And they're going to be like a support. One of the things they do is they provide appointments, kind of conferencing for doctors and medicine. They're very involved in the medical arena, and but they will be providing support for my events. So all my events will become hybrid in this kind of fringe this year. It's going to be very limited this year because we want to just launch it and get people thinking that this is going to happen again in 2026. The dates we're just going to swap them over. And what happens in 2020? It's also going to be a 32 county. This is because we get two jurisdictions here. I want to demonstrate how stupid it is that we have two jurisdictions on the one island. We have people who can access medical cannabis freely. Not freely. They're accessing it easily. Let's say in the 6 counties, while in the south, people are still, they can't get near MCAP. MCAP, I believe the last I heard, there's only 50 people on it still. So this is all has to change. PFSA, we're putting back together, and so there's lots happening. Please get involved, and please, I will need this YouTube channel, this podcast will be a driver of all the information. So please subscribe and like, and do the liking and the commenting and all of that kind of thing to help me make this happen, because there's we every now and again, Irish kind of activism, we run out of steam, and it comes and goes and comes and goes. But we got to get with this. We now have a government in place for another 5 years. 5 years. And, Harris has already said there's not a chance of Fine Gael even entertaining the idea of decriminalisation. And while Micheál Martin opened the door for decriminalisation, there's nothing in any government program for government. So, it's up to us again to kind of put pressure on them while everybody keeps getting criminalised. And this has to stop, man. It's nuts, So I hope you join us. Please subscribe, hit the like, hit the bells, do all that thing. Please subscribe, and let's get this thing moving again. And cheers, and give Martin Condon a subscribe on his thing, and check it out every other day. I don't know how often he's doing it, but he's just back. He's been very much victimized. He did a lot of civil disobedience things last year, like planting around Cork and different places, planting CBD plants, and that they go off and they get tested and nothing happens. The civil disobedience is to demonstrate what a waste of time this all is. But there's no time being wasted. Martin is having to go to court all the time these days, and that's why he went a little bit quiet. And so it's still going on. People are being criminalized. The court system, the status quo is doing what it does, and that's love and prohibition. So we have to get up and and make noise about it. That we're not happy. This is about civil liberties, about civil rights. It's about look at that. I can grow that here on a terrace, and that's the medicine that's all the medicine that I need. I don't know what it cost me, 30 euros or something. And so please subscribe and keep sharing.